In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the new Smile Bracelet using the Rainbow Loom. And I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the one side, and the way that the bands go in the middle reminded me of a smile, so that's why I named it the Smile Bracelet. And then on the reverse side, it has the black and pink colors meshed together. Makes a pretty cool design. And it doesn't really matter what position you have your pin set in, because we'll only be using 4 pins in one row. You will need about 120 rubber bands to make this bracelet, and I have the Rainbow Loom black and pink bands today. So I'm going to do black for the outside and pink for the center. I'm going to start by placing the outside color on the loom first, so I have black. It's going from this first pin up to the second and twist. And actually for the first 2 layers I'm going to be using all black. So from the second pin to the third I'm going to do another black and it's going to twist. And now from this pin up is another black that will twist. I'm just twisting that bottom layer. And now for the second layer I'm going to do that same pattern. I'm starting on the first pin and going up. Again, I'm just going to do all black for this bottom. So a second black, and then finally from the third pin up to the fourth. And now I want to remove the bottom 2 rubber bands just from the second and third pins. So for this bracelet, I'm always going to be grabbing the bands from the left-hand side and moving them over to the right, so that way the bracelet will grow on the outside of the loom. So I'm not doing anything on this first pin since there's only 2 bands. Going up to this next pin, and there's 4 bands on here. I want the bottom 2, so I'm going to grab them both at once, and I'm going to pull them over the top of the pin and over to the right side. And then on the next pin, that same thing. I'm grabbing the bottom 2 rubber bands, pulling them over the top and to the right hand side. I'm going to push all of this down. And now I'm going to start the pattern that I'm going to follow for the rest of the bracelet. So I'm going to put on a black rubber band for the outside, so that's going to be my first band in this layer. And every time I put one single band on, I'm going to do the looping. So now you can see that I have 3 rubber bands on the end pin here, and what I want to happen is I want the bottom band to come up through the center band and then go over the top. So in order to do this, I'm going to grab this middle band. I'm just ignoring this top band. I'm going to get this middle band, grab it with my hook. I'm going to turn my hook around so that I have the band on the back side of my hook. Now I can grab this bottom rubber band. It's going to come up through and over. So this is the inverted stitch. If you've ever made the inverted fishtail, that's the same thing that I'll be using for this bracelet. So on the other pin here, I'm going to have to do the other side of this band. So again, there's 3 rubber bands on. I need to ignore the top band. I'm going to grab this middle band, get that on my hook, and I'm going to turn my hook around so I have the back side pushing back on this middle band, grabbing this bottom rubber band and pulling it over the top. So once I add another color, it will be a little bit easier to see. It might not be so easy to see with the black. So now in the middle from now on, I'm going to be doing pink. So I'm going to put that rubber band on, and when I put that band on, now I want to loop. So again, I want this bottom rubber band to come up through the middle and then go over the top. So I'm going to just put my hook inside, get this center band to go behind my hook, grabbing the bottom black, it's coming over the top and to the right side there. And now I have to do the one on the other side. So again, I'm going to grab this middle band, I'm going to push back, get it behind my hook, grab the bottom, it's coming up through and over the top. Just be careful as you're doing this that these bands stay in the same order on the pin, because that is important. So since pink was on the top, make sure that it stays on the top, and as you're pulling this up through, the black doesn't wind up on top. And now finally I have my last band to add in this layer. So it's going from the third pin up to the fourth. It's going to be black. And now once again I want to loop the bands on both of these pins. So I am going down through. I want this pink band to go behind my hook. I'm grabbing the black. It's coming up through and over the top. Again, just keep these in the same order. And now on the end here, I'm going down through the middle, getting that center band behind my hook, and get the bottom one to come up through and over. Going to push this all down. And now I'm going to add my next layer. So I'm starting with black at the bottom. It's going up to that next pin. And now I want to loop those bands. So on the first pin here, I'm grabbing this middle band, turning my hook around so I can grab the bottom. It's coming up through and over. And on this next pin, I want this pink band to get behind my hook. I'm pushing back on it. Now the bottom black band can come up and over to the right. And now I'm going to put on my second rubber band on this layer. It's going to be pink. And now I want the black band to go behind my hook. The pink is going to come up through and over to the right. And now on this next pin, again, I'm going to grab this black band that's in the middle, get it behind my hook. Now the pink is coming up through and over. Just make sure this black band stays below. You can see that it wanted to come up here. I don't want that to happen. I need them to stay in the same order. So you can see how easily it happens. And now finally I want to add a black band for this last one on this layer. And now I want the bottom black band to come up through the pink. So I'm just getting this pink band on my hook and pushing it back. Now the black can come up and over to the right. And now the same thing on this end pin, getting this middle band behind my hook, and the bottom band can come up through and over. So you want to push this down. It is a little bit tricky to do this inverted stitch, but once you do it several times, I think you'll get the hang of it. So I'm starting with black at the bottom, and now I want to loop the bands. So the middle one is getting behind my hook, bottom one's coming up through, and now the same thing on the next one. I have to get this pink band, and sometimes they're a little hard to grab. Get just the pink one behind my hook. Now the black can come up through and over. Now I'll add my second band on this layer, going from the second to third pin, and it's pink. Now I want this black band to go behind my hook. The bottom pink can come up and over to the right. And on this next one, the same thing. Getting the black one behind my hook. The pink can come up through and over to the right. And now I want black as the last band on this layer. And now I want the pink to go behind my hook. The black comes up and over to the right, and then on the end here, getting inside of this middle band, and the bottom can come up and over. Push this down. Now you can see that the bracelet is starting to grow on the right side of the loom on the outside here. So let me just show you this one more time, starting with black on the bottom. I'm always looping after I put one single band on. So this middle one is going behind my hook, bottom's coming up through, and now on this one I want to get the pink behind my hook, pull that one up through. Now I'm going to put the pink band on the next pins. And again, I'm getting this black band now to go behind my hook. And the pink will come up through and over. Again, just make sure they're staying in that same order on the pins. On this next one, I'm getting the black to go behind. Pink's coming up through and over. And now I have a black. And I need to loop this so the pink's getting behind my hook. Black comes up through and over. And finally on the end here, getting this middle band behind, and the bottom comes up through and over, and then push down. So I will just continue in this same pattern, and when the bracelet gets long enough, I will show you what to do to remove it from the loom. When you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off of the loom, you're going to have 2 rubber bands on all 4 of the pins. So I'm going to take the 2 rubber bands that are on the end pin closest to me, going to get them on my hook, and I'm going to move them to the pin above. Make sure they both make it on there. And now I'm going to take the rubber bands on the top, pick up both of the bands and move them to this pin below. Again, make sure they both get on there. And now I want to take the bottom rubber bands and pull them over the top. Do that for both of these. And now I am going to take the rubber bands that are on the pin closest to me, and I'm going to get them on my hook, and I'm going to pick up the other 2 bands. And now I'm going to slide the 2 closest to the end through the other 2. And I'm going to take a clip. I have an S clip here. You can use whatever you have available. And I'm just going to put these 2 bands through one side of the clip. And then I'll go to the other side here. And I'm just going to pick up a couple of the loose bands on the end. And I will get them through the other side of the clip. And then here is the bracelet. So this is what it looks like on the one side. And then on the other side, this is what it looks like. It has the black and pink colors together. So I think it has a pretty cool look to it. And here's another one that I made that has 3 different colors. So you can see what it looks like when you use the 3 colors. And then here's what it looks like on the reverse. So I hope everyone had fun making their smile bracelet. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!